Merhabat, and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So, we have defeated the Austro-Hungarian Empire. We are working on the Dutch. This invasion should not be successful. The tonnage has just not updated since the last turn. They're not even trying to do this invasion. So once they have run their course, hopefully unsuccessfully, we could get a peace treaty with the Dutch, and that would finally free up some ships to go deal with the Chinese. China has been striking at my ports, and I just don't have enough spare ships to deal with it. I am assembling 4 torpedo boats with these 2 light cruisers here, and maybe they'd be able to ambush maybe a battleship or something, because China is like just sailing back and forth here. Anyway, before next month, let's make sure not to get the Italians involved as well. I have enough enemies for now. 17 months until the large guns. I could also prioritize torpedo propulsion. 30 months. That's still going to be 3 years. It's going to be 3 years or 8 years. This is like going to slow everything else down. In my previous campaign, I wasn't too worried about using my 3 priorities, because I could just use one of them for the large guns, or the big guns as they were called, because that's a very, very important tech tree branch. You get so much out of it. But now, the big guns have been split between 3 different tech trees, so I don't know. Maybe worth just waiting for these all to get Mark II'd, and then prioritize torpedo propulsion? I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what the play is here. Monthly balance minus -1 million. Not too bad, really. We are repairing 3 torpedo boats in Heraklion. They're all here. Is that just the 1-month repair? It is. So if the Dutch strike at this port next month, I might actually have some ships there to defend. Yeah, alright. Let's continue. See what happens. War continues with China. That is good, because China currently has more victory points than me. These are striking Heraklion now. Okay, they've combined both task forces. And my torpedo boats did not. Okay, my torpedo boats have been added back into the task force. Very well. These just decided not to move because, okay, because this is blocking. Where are you going? There, you're gonna take 4 turns. If I just sail them straight at the battleship, maybe the game will provide me with a battle. Anyway, finances minus 1 million. We're gonna have to, okay. Don't have to turn it down that much. So from 75% to 72%. Go from minus 1 million to plus 100,000. And it doesn't really make a big difference in the tech speed. We're 4 months away from getting the Mark 1 10-inch guns. 10 months away from getting the bigger armored cruiser hulls. We are, let's see, Constantinople. 10 months away from finishing these two. And there was, yeah, the battleship, 11 months. And only 4 for the new torpedo boats to arrive. The Chinese have 5 torpedo boats there. If I just had a spare light cruiser somewhere, I could send it over here and deal with the Chinese torpedo boats. So then, 1 more month. Why is this not just engaging my my task force? Oh, that's typical. My big task force, instead of engaging the enemy big task force, we get their single torpedo boats. So I've decided to just send 3 light cruisers to deal with the torpedo boats. Everyone else is going home, conserving ammunition. There we go. As long as we don't let it within 900 meters, we should be fine. Drop down to some cruising speed. Maybe score a couple of hits. And we are scoring some hits. Let's go with AP on the main guns. Cause some flooding, maybe. Main tower is out. You don't have a lot of armor, do you? We can't have more than 0.5. The 1890s accuracy. Well, if he wants to get closer and launch those torpedoes, it's gonna make itself a easier target. I'll detach you and turn you this way. You can sail parallel. The other ones are too committed to their turn. .10 knot cruising speed. You're close enough that your HE might do something. There we go, finally some flooding. Gonna make it a easier target if it's slowed down. There we go, plus for target slow speed. That's what I was after. There! It cost me a lot of ammunition, but good enough. Still a bit disappointed that I didn't get a an actual meeting with the main Dutch fleet. Failed to gain the Dardanelles. Come on, can I actually, like, select my own fleet here? I mean, we should get a battle. Because I think meeting battles are prioritized over port strike battles. Let's combine the light cruisers and the torpedo boats. That way, if I encounter a battleship, the torpedo boats can handle it. If I encounter enemy torpedo boats, the light cruisers can handle it, hopefully. Keep bleeding money. There. Yeah, not that long until we get more ships. But I really need that Dutch fleet dealt with so my ships can go and do other things. Like deal with the Chinese. Also, let's keep avoiding war with Italy. There we go. China is striking me. Gaining yet more victory points. And here's the big fight that I was after. I should have some more ammunition now, because my ships have basically just been hanging around for a couple of months. And I am within resupply range. And also, quite a few of these ships should still be damaged. Alright. Let's see, we got some ammunition back. Not a whole lot, but some. My deployment is not amazing. I'm gonna slow down the armored cruisers, let the battleships get out in front. Light cruisers, good to go. These are the three that wasted a lot of ammunition sinking a torpedo boat. My 3 torpedo boats are good to go. So they're gonna find something to do. The enemy has 4 armored cruisers. My battleships are being spotted. Yeah, the enemy has 4 armored cruisers. Hopefully my torpedo boats can deal with that. They've all got 8 torpedoes. They're all in good shape. There they are. Yeah, they're kind of damaged. Some of them were more heavily damaged than others at the end of the previous battle. Let's just set all the big guns to save. Yeah, I think most of the damage done to the enemy ships that survived the previous battle was mostly flooding damage, and that doesn't persist. I'm gonna have you just slow down behind the battleships. So the plan now for my torpedo boats would be when the enemy line comes crashing in, I want my torpedo boats going out to screen. And throw torpedoes at them. Which, the time for that might be now. We're gonna go straight for the armored cruisers. Already scoring 1 hit. That's something. Let's see. You can all just open fire. Now, little torpedo boats, don't take a bunch of unnecessary hits now. I'm gonna have to get closer. Should have a good torpedo launch solution here. Guess that can be your target. Your first torpedoes missed. Vrijheid then. Are any of you gonna launch? Before it's too late. You're now out of torpedo range. 90-4 has launched. They launched from that side then? I need to do something here because they're closing in. -8 has launched, but not hit anything. Okay, that torpedo is heading out now. We can retreat back into friendly lines. There we go. Got some torpedoes away. From some ships at least. And you are loaded on that side. -2 has fixed her engines. Okay, so we're going back to trying to torpedo the Alkmaar. Uh, 90-8 has lost her torpedoes. So we're just gonna put you into retreat, and you can figure out your own way. Vrijheid. Taking some flooding hits. That should not be a hit on -8, because it's in a turn. That's where you're going. -4, you got some decent torpedoes. You don't have a rudder. -2, you have actually successfully launched 2 torpedoes heading out towards Alkmaar, but that's a pretty long range launch. Might not lead to a hit. Maybe that's a better target. It was. Torpedoes already away. Have any of them made it into like torpedo danger yet? Not quite yet. If we slam on the brakes, we do avoid that torpedo. Then I was gonna accelerate and avoid this one, but I see now that my engine is damaged, so that acceleration is not gonna be very accelerating. My own torpedoes did hit. Can bring in these guys again. They can hunt down some light cruisers. I can just pretend I didn't just forget about them. It looks like the tubes are turning. And with Amelia being pretty much dead in the water, those torpedoes should hit. Let's just have it not stick out of the water with its back like that. This looks cooler. And you can just egress out there. How about you? Which tubes are going to be loaded first? These ones. If you live long enough for that to be into range, those tubes should be reloaded, maybe. Alright. Back to the gun line. Back to save. And you also back to save. I don't think it makes a big difference. Might get free hide here. There we go. Was that one of my torpedoes? It was. That's nice. Amelia, did you actually take... oh, it's a dud torpedo. I want to close in with this cluster here. Need to take care of these light cruisers that are in the way. Jihad is now taking accidental hits meant for steer. Is that the end of Vryheid? No. And like here comes the big cluster of ships. -2, you got 1 torpedo left in you. That's not much, but it is something. Battleships. These are actually not closing in. For a second it looked like these were all rushing in towards my battleship, but actually, Amarang. We can just accidentally hit these two. And that torpedo boat finally surrendered. Is that finally the end of Vryheid? No, not yet. We're all out of AP. I was hoping I'd be able to sink this entire task force this time, but even after spending a couple months not in battle, ships have not been fully resupplied, and despite having a veteran crew, accuracy is not that good. Now, you're targeting these up here so we can just accidentally hit a bunch of other ships. Because these are more tightly packed. I'm setting the guns back to normal. You got no more torpedo. Did you launch? It's torpedo. Okay, so its torpedo got blown up. Its final torpedo. There we go, scoring floating hits on these. Way back here. target these up here. You too. You're gonna have these 4 light cruisers come in and finish off the Vrijheid. Like, finally. If I target the Zuv, I should be able to hit Noorderhawks a bunch. There we go. A little exploit right there. Oh, battleships are out of AP. So we will not be sinking the armored cruisers, I guess. Our AP. Noorderhawks sinks. Let's see, battleships. Can target something, I guess. I might get Amelia, because we're kind of closing in. There we go, finally some more flooding, but I think it's just the same flooded sections being hit over again. There you go. She's flooding. Can't really afford to slow down because these ships are closing in on my tail. 3%. 2. And Vrijheid sinks. Another cruiser down. I haven't sunk a whole lot yet. Here comes the weather. It's a storm even. Battered. target Van Amstel. I should accidentally hit Sperver a bunch. Yeah, there we go. Flooding. Might get it. Might get it. Actually. As annoying as they are to fight in, at least, storms make for some pretty screenshots. Some of these are now fairly badly damaged. But especially with this weather, we're not hitting much. Armored cruisers are out of ammo. They can just keep going. Fire off your last couple of rounds. Would be nice to pick up another like couple of kills. That should be easy to pick up. It caused a lot of flooding. As I said, that damage doesn't persist between battles. Only the hit points do. Hit points and crew. We did score 7 torpedo hits though. Actually, almost half my damage was caused by torpedoes. All these shells being fired off and they just don't do much. Battleships are out of ammo. Katsonis has 1 round left of HE. Let's just vacate the battlefield. We're not gonna get much done here. So losses, 1 torpedo boat. One torpedo boat lost, for 3 light cruisers. I mean, it's not an epic result by any means, but it could be a lot worse. The sad part is I need my ships to stay in this spot for at least one more turn before I can go and deal with the Chinese. Who, of course, all got through. I can send this squadron. No, I cannot. It's trying to go through the Suez Canal. Well, 2 can block that one. One light cruiser and a torpedo boat. One light cruiser and a torpedo boat. 3 torpedo boats there. 1 torpedo boat here. The Spanish haven't done anything yet. How about Japan? I don't have enough victory points against them to get a peace treaty either, but at least that war I am technically winning. The Chinese and the Germans, they're the annoying ones. Still losing out of money. At least transport capacity has not gone critical yet. But it is not looking that good in the long run. Ballastite. If you really want your own ships to just explode. So we're gonna have to wait for more ships. Well, one more turn. And the enemy invasion has finally failed. But we're gonna have to fight them once more before we can do anything. And then I'm gonna offer them a peace treaty. Which, I got enough victory points. That should be successful, despite them having struck my port all over and over and over again. I do have enough victory points to claim a win. 2 torpedo boats are back in action. Crew training green. I expect that is because they lost a bunch of crew and they've been, and the dead crew members have been replaced by rookies. Battleships are veterans. Armored cruisers are all veterans. So, they might not have a lot of ammo, but... Well, I was about to say they should be pretty accurate, but we know they're not. Alright, 4 heavy cruisers, 14 light cruisers. Down from 17 last battle. But of course this time I'm even lower on ammunition. So, battleships, once again down to cruising speed. I'm gonna have these 2 just follow you around. These can slow way down. Just stick around until I need you. Like, the way they maneuver to get in behind the ships they're gonna... I want them to follow. So dumb. There you go. Oh, here they are. Torpedo bolts. Our good friend Alkmaar. Okay, I guess you're not gonna follow, you're just gonna sail parallel. Because that was too complicated for you. -2, you can target Alkmaar. -8, I want to have you target the Alkmaar as well. Let's see, like so. Or I guess Ryuv is a better target for -2. Despite Ryuv actually turning now. Might get it. Torpedoes have been launched at least. We're gonna get torpedo hit on Alkmaar. Accidental torpedo hit on a light cruiser. -8 has launched from both sides. Perfect. Got more torpedoes. Headed towards Alkmaar. You might avoid those, that's not a good angle. But she is pretty much dead in the water, so maybe not. Maybe we're gonna get her. We might get a kill here. With the torps. Maybe not. -8 has torpedoes ready again. Dash 2 is ready on one side. Yeah. These are going to be ready by the time we're in range, I think. Please load AP for Suemba. Yeah, you're ready on both sides. Dash 8. And Alkmaar is just sitting there. Actually, flooding. We might get it. We might get it. I'm not so sure. Might get Samba. You got torpedoes ready on one side. Van Amstel, I don't think you're gonna be able to launch on Delft. One more hit on Alkmaar, and that's the end of her. One armored cruiser down. If I can get a light cruiser too, that would be epic. Okay, I guess De Bitter. A better target. You can just turn in time. Zamba sinks. Nice. So we sunk one armored and one light cruiser. We might get another armored cruiser here. Ryuv just took a huge hit. Are the tubes turning towards the bitter? They are. We got launch. You're done. Dash 8. Dash 2, you're also pretty much done. You got 2 torpedoes left, but I don't think you're going to get close enough to launch. Torpedo hit on the bitter. And Ryuv also sinks. After sustaining heavy hits. Can we finish off Van Amstel? It's just sailing right here. Be possible to blap it out of the water. There you go. Engine damage and flooding. It's taking quite a few months to deal with this huge Dutch doom stack. No real decisive battles. It's been a grind. A marathon, not a sprint. Maybe you're gonna get to launch those torpedoes anyway, Dash 2. Most of my damage has again been from torpedoes. This time I started out with almost no ammunition, so Maybe you're gonna launch against the bitter. Maybe you're just gonna sink. I think Van Amstel is gonna be sunk. There we go. I think. I thought that was the end of her. Dash 2 has launched her last torpedoes, and looks like they're gonna hit. 2 torpedo hits on the bitter. Sadly, they both hit in pretty much the same spot. So she's gonna live. And Van Amstel has gotten the flooding under control, so the better choice would have been to actually launch against that one. And Dash 2 is pretty much done. Gonna be finished off by... No, not by enemy torpedoes. Let's see, how long is this gonna continue on for? Not gonna hit much, but... yeah. That's how far a 900 meter torpedo will actually travel. Now we're just gonna egress. I should have launched at Van Amstel. That might have been a killing torpedo. More pressing matter is these 2 armored cruisers actually closing in on my line. What armor did you have? 1.8, 4 belts. There's the horde. Now she turned around. So you can speed up a little bit. And now we're just waiting for the end battle option. Done what I could. Sinking 2 out of their 4 armored cruisers. Not too bad, sadly, unless the end battle button pops up very soon. I might be losing one too. It's not getting away. Not exactly sure how far away I need to be. It's evening. At times 30 game speed. Oh, more flooding. That is unfortunate. I was about to say, at times 30 game speed. That remaining hour won't take too long. I'll spare you the wait. And with 30 minutes left on the in-game clock, the end battle button appeared. And we were able to sink 3 enemy ships with no ship losses of our own. And that has reduced the enemy force down to 2 armored cruisers and 13 lights. Some of these might have to be sent for repair. And with that, I cannot offer them peace just yet. But I can send this big force up to finally deal with the Chinese. One light cruiser, one torpedo boat. One torpedo boat. One light cruiser, one torpedo boat. So, I'm gonna split the forces here a little bit. Like so. In fact, I want to send a lone light cruiser out to deal with this lone Chinese torpedo boat. These guys should be blocking the Suez. Let's see if I cannot offer the Dutch a peace treaty this turn. I will just keep sucking up to the Italians. Yeah. 4 torpedo boats will be, well, not ready. They're gonna have to be commissioned. So 2 months, I guess. And at that time, if we've dealt with the Chinese, we can go back and finally finish off the Dutch. If they're still enemies. Alright. But that's it for this time. It's gonna be nice to fight someone else than this big task force. We've been going at it for a bit. Goodbye, and take care.